Hello, family. Angela Cage coming back to you again with another message for this day. You get two for one today, but I do have another message, and this is the message that I did want to deliver. But if you tune into the channel, you know that there was another message that was really pressed upon me by the universe to deliver. But here we are with the message that has been on my heart to deliver to you. And that message today is to take up space. And what I mean by taking up space is to rightfully step into the position, the place where you're supposed to be. Do not shrink yourself. Do not minimize yourself to make other people around you feel comfortable. You need to take up space. You need to live in the fullness of who you are. And if people are uncomfortable with that, they have a few options. They can get comfortable with being uncomfortable, with you living to your full potential, to living out loud, to you living your greatest life for who you are, or they can remove yourself from the space. They don't have to share a space with you. If they can't take it, then they can just move on to the side. And you know, because I've talked about it in a couple other videos that I've posted. And if you haven't watched them, go on over to the YouTube channel, click on the video tab and check out all the messages there. But you all know that there was a point in my life where I battled low self-esteem and pretty much no self-esteem at one point. But because that's where I was, I would try to shrink myself literally. I have always been a voluptuous woman. I have always been big and beautiful, and I'm proud of it today, but that was not always the case for me. So when I was operating in the world where I had no self-esteem or very low self-esteem, when I would get around others, I would try to make myself as small as possible. And here's the thing, outside of a metaphysical experience, how am I making all of this big, beautiful body so small that it can't be seen? But that's what I used to do. I didn't want to be seen. I barely wanted to be heard, even though I had something to say and I should have been filling the space that I was in. But I didn't think myself worthy. I didn't think that I deserved to be seen or heard. I didn't think myself as, uh, having people valuing me as a person or anything that I had to say. So I used to try to make myself seem so small, because I had these negative thoughts of myself and I were projecting them outward, thinking that that was what the world was thinking about me. And whether it was true or not, I'm not responsible for what the world thinks about me. I'm responsible for what I think about me. But I did my work and I was able to build my self-esteem, and I have confidence now. And do I have bad days? And, are there days where, I don't feel the greatest? Of course, we all have those days. But on the overall spectrum of it, I have confidence. I think highly of myself. I know my worth, and I take up space, and I deserve to take up space. I deserve to be heard. I deserve to be valued. And you all know that I love a quote. Now, I'm not really sure who put this list together, but recently I've posted on the social media pages 7 ways to take up space. The first way is to remember that you are important. You were put here for a reason and to play a very important role in this world. And I truly do believe that. We all have our part to play in this world. And for the people in my village, and for me being a part of their village, I couldn't imagine that interaction without them being there. So I'm supposed to be here in order to be a village for those that I'm a village for. And the people around me are supposed to be here because they have a very important role to play for me, but not just for me, for themselves as well. But the people in my village, I try to encourage them. And even people that I come in contact with, I want them to know you are important. You matter. You deserve to be here. You have a role to play. So what you say, what you think, it's important. And don't let anyone make you feel that it's not. The second thing on this list is to directly ask for what you want. Now, a lot of times people feel themselves unworthy of getting what they want. So they might say it as a joke, or, there might be an indirect reference to something that they may want. But no, You deserve to have the things that you want, and you can make a direct request, and you very well should make a direct request for the things that you want. Why? Goes back to number one. You're important. So if you're important, why wouldn't you be able to ask for what you want? Now, you may not always get what you want, and you'll need to evaluate that and determine how you will respond to that. But you definitely do deserve to directly ask for what you want. Number three, release feelings of guilt for asking for support. Now, this is something that I used to struggle with, feeling guilty for asking for support because I struggle with perfectionism, thinking I have to do everything right and I have to be the one who has all the answers. I used to struggle with having to reach out and ask for help, ask for support, ask for assistance. And I used to feel guilty about that, but no more. What is the purpose of having a village if they cannot support us? And if they can't look and see that I need support, I can't expect them to be mind readers. So I'm going to ask them for support, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. And I don't want you to feel guilty about it either. Now, number four says discover the opinions you hold. Now, this is very important because a lot of times I think people get in a habit of not speaking up, not saying what they think because they think it won't be valued. And then they end up just taking on the opinions of people around them. But really take some time and sit with yourself. Sit with yourself and think, how do I feel about this? What's my opinion on that? You know, when there are stories going on in the news or you read something, really take a step back and say, how do I feel about that? What do I think about that? Because what I think is important, and you may be in a space where you need to share your opinion, whether it's online or face to face or whatever form it is, but you may need to offer your opinion. So really get to know what your opinion is, not the opinion that people try to give to you, not the group think, but you. What do you think? What is your opinion? Because you matter. You're important, so your opinions matter. Number five, play with your creativity. Now, for me, I love to talk, I love to speak. I love to create things. I am writing a book, so look for that to come soon. But that's part of me playing with my creativity. And recently, well, not so recent, this actually started in 2021. A friend of mine took me to my first paint and sip. Well, I wasn't really sipping, but anywho, that's neither here nor there. But she took me to my first paint and sip, and I found that I have a love for painting. Not that I paint well, not that I have any masterpieces, that will be sold for millions of dollars or anything like that. But I enjoy painting, and there's other crafts that I found that I do enjoy. And that was part of me playing with my creativity. And you best believe if you come to my house and you're walking up the stairs, I do have the two paintings that I've done. They are hanging up. And the craft that I've done, which was with some resin, that is in the curio cabinet to be on display. So you play with your own creativity, try new things, figure out what it is that you like, because you may discover that you have maybe a talent, or maybe even if you're not good at it, doesn't even matter. But if you enjoy it, you may discover something that you didn't know you enjoyed. And that can be another tool for your self-care, because if it's something that you really enjoy, that relieves your stress, that can center you, then you can add it to your toolbox as another self-care activity. So play with that, play with your creativity. The next way that you can take up space is to stand tall with your shoulders back. Stand tall with your shoulders back, erect. Let people see you. When you're standing tall, you're not shrinking down. You're not minimizing yourself. You're not doing what I used to do, trying to, blend into the wall so nobody can see me. None of that. Stand tall with your shoulders back so that people can see you. And that is a posture of confidence. And you may need to practice it because that may not be your natural way of being. But when you present yourself in the world, hold your head up high. That's something that I think is missing from number six. But hold your head up high, stand tall with your shoulders back. Allow the world to see you because you're beautiful, you're handsome. People deserve to see and hear from you. Number 7, release the desire to ask for permission and know that you can give yourself permission. And a lot of times, we want to do things and we feel like, oh, is so and so going to like this? Or how is so and so going to feel if I do this? Let me check with them. But sometimes it's not about checking with them or seeing what they want to do. As long as it's not going to harm somebody, you give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to be you. Live out loud. Live in the fullness of who you are. Take up space because you deserve to be here. Please know that if you take nothing else from this message, please know that you deserve to be here at this very moment. And there's someone and multiple people, I'm sure, that need you. And if you don't think that people need you, ask your village. And if you don't have a village, click on the videos tab, search down about to the video about the nurturing village, because it has some information in there about how you can begin to build a village. But if you don't have one, begin to build your village. But take a look around your village, and if you're ever feeling like, not really feeling my best, and ask people in the village, like, am I needed here? And you'll be surprised by the response, because you never know what you are to someone else, because a lot of times we just don't share that information. We just have this natural way of interacting. People are who they are. Like, I have someone who is my rock and my backbone. They may not know that. They may not know that I depend on them in that kind of way, but I do. And I may be something to them. And I have people in my village who are not just yes people. They're not just going to tell me everything that I want to hear. I have people in my village that call me out on my mess. They hold me accountable. They let me know when I've taken it a little too far, and they can reel me back in. And we all need that, because sometimes we do go a little far, but that's not what this message is about. I don't want to get off on the wrong thing, but I want you all to take up space. Take up space. You deserve to be here. I love you all always. Please make it a great day.